Hello students, my name is Kritika and I am your computer digital mentor. Today we are going to start our third chapter, that is Adobe Flash CS6 Tools Introduction. So students, before we start our topic, let's have a look at some lesson objectives. So first is features of Flash, then Adobe Flash Professional CS6, then create a new file in Flash. Then we have different panels in Adobe Flash Professional CS6. Then we have the tools panel, then we have drawing a trunk, then we have timeline panel. So students, now let's start our topic, that is Adobe Flash Professional CS6 is a flash design tool which you can download to create animations and applications. It will integrate with the other Adobe programs such as Adobe Photoshop and Dreamweaver for design purpose and multiple SDKs for games and development. In this chapter, you will learn to start Adobe Flash Professional CS6, create a new Flash CS6 document, and get familiar with Adobe Flash Professional CS6 interface. You will also learn to work with various panels. So students, this is the introduction of our chapter. Now our first topic is features of Flash. The basic feature of Flash include simple vector-based drawing tools, animations that can include audio and video, and simple and complex interactions. So students, now let's learn about attractive designs. Flash allows the use of visual effects that will ease the creation of animations, presentations and forms and make them more attractive and professional. Then we have font optimization. It is also include some readability option for small sized fonts that make our text more comfortable to read. Then we have consolidated libraries. So you can search any object existing in your movies faster. Browsing your movies faster, browsing your open libraries from a single panel. Then next we have more powerful animations. So Flash allows much more control of the interpolations setting, a new addition mode from which one can edit the velocity, the rotation, shape, color and movement of the image. Then we have more powerful graphics. Flash saves these graphics as vector images that are much smaller than bitmaps. This is it from first topic. Now let's start our second topic, that is starting Adobe Flash Professional CS6. So in this topic, we are going to learn how will you start your Adobe Flash CS6. So to start Adobe Flash, click on Start button and scroll down to Adobe Production Premium CS6 and select Adobe Flash Professional CS6. So students, here you can see the interface of opening a Adobe Flash. The Adobe Flash Professional CS6 welcome screen will be displayed as shown here. So students, here in the interface you can see the first one is to change the layout view, go to Windows, then Workspace. Then we have Panel, then we have Tools. Students, then we have Timeline. So now let's learn about all these components in detail. So first we have Tools. Tools includes frequently used tools such as selection tools, drawing tools and text tools. Then we have second, Panels. Flash includes more than 20 panels that offer detailed control of objects, animation and more. Most are disabled until a document is open. Here are some of the most important panels. So our first panel is Properties, a context-based panel which has properties of any selected object. Second, Library. Library is a collection of reusable objects called symbols. Then third is Align, that allows many ways to align objects to each other or the stage. Then our third is Timeline, a set of layers similar to Photoshop Plus frames that span time. Then fourth is change workspace. That is allow for quick changes between different layout options. So now students, this is it from this topic. Now let's start our new topic, that is create a new file in Flash. So students, how will you create new file in Flash? So students, how will you create a new file in Flash? So to create a new Flash CS6 document, choose ActionScript 3.0 from the create new area of the window screen. Alternatively, choose file, then new from the menu bar. The new document dialog box will be displayed as shown. Dialog box, choose ActionScript 3.0 from the Journal tab and then click the OK button. A new Flash file will be created. So students, this is how you can create a new Flash file, and here you can see the interface for the same. Now students, let's jump to our next topic, that is exporting the Adobe Flash Professional CS6 interface. So students, the interface of Flash CS6 consists of Stage, Tools panel, Timeline panel, Properties panel, Menu bar and Application bar. Using the tools in the interface, you can create interactive website and digital animations, as well as edit and add elements to your movie. You can also import files from Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop and Adobe After Effects in Flash CS6. So students, in this interface, we can see table document window, then menu bar, then stage, then application bar, then library panel, then properties panel, then collapse to icon button, then we have playhead, then we have timeline panel, then layer area and then paste board. So now students, let's know one interesting fact, that is Flash Professional CS6 and the Android Market Flash Professional CS6 support the published of AIR application for Android, so developers can deliver the application to the Android market. Now students, our next topic is workspace. So Flash now comes with preset workspace that organize the screen automatically. The Flash workspace is divided into various features with their own functionality individually. Individual designers and developers like to customize the Flash screen by moving the panels and other screen elements to different positions. All of these workspaces are customizable. If you ever like to go back to the default layout, all of these workspaces are customizable. If you would ever like to go back to the default layout for a workspace, select Reset. You may even save your own favorite layouts by selecting New Workspace. Below are screenshots of Stage and Timeline are located in various places in each one. Below are screenshots of some common workspace layout, Essentials, Designers and Classic. Notice the properties, tool, stage and the timeline are located in various places in each one. So students, here you can see the interface of Adobe Essential Workspace. Now, so students, here you can see some interfaces of Designer Workspace, Classic Workspace. And now, let's start. Now, let's learn about Stage. So, stage is an area where all activities are performed that the viewers see when a movie is being played. The gray area surrounding the stage is called pasteboard. Anything in the pasteboard is not visible in the final output. You can change the color and size of the stage by choosing the options in the new document dialog box and the properties panel. So students, here you can see the interface of the properties panel. In the tools panel, here you can see first is selection screen, then editing screen and then color section. Now, so students, here you can see the interface of tools panel, and first you can see selection section, then editing section and then color section. On the other side you can see drawing section, then view section and then option section. So students, now it's time to know an interesting fact, that is, the toolbox contains the toolbar, which is very similar to the graphic package toolbars. Now our next topic is tools panel. So the tools panel is divided into 6 sections. The selection section consists of the tools that are used for selecting an object or a part of an object. The drawing section consists of tools that are used to create objects, text, shapes, and decorative patterns. The editing section consists of tools that are used to edit the existing object. The view section consists of tools that are used to pan and zoom in or out in the stage. The color section consists of tools that are used to specify or modify the color of the border and fill of an object. The option section of the tools panel displays the option and modes of the selected tools. So students, now here you can see the interface of the new document dialog box. Now in Flash, the outline of an object is called stroke and the color filled inside of an object is called fill. Then the black triangle next to a tool indicates that there are some more hidden tools in the respective tool category. These tools are called hidden tools. Then, to display the hidden tools, press and hold the left mouse button on the tool. A layout will be displayed with all the hidden box. Now students, it's time to know an interesting fact again. When you invoke a tool, the properties of that tool are displayed in the properties panel. Now students, let's jump to our next topic, that is the tools panel. So here are the main tools and their rules. So our first tool is selection tool. Selecting whole object and moving them. Then sub-selection tool, selecting partial objects. Then line tool, drawing straight lines. Then lasso tool, selecting irregular shaped pieces of an object. Then we have pen tool, drawing non-straight and curved lines. So students, here you can see the interface of drawing in Flash. Now students, our next topic is drawing a trunk. So to draw a trunk in Flash, we have to follow some steps, and these are: step 1, open drawing tools. Then step 2, you will use the brush tool to draw the left and right side of the trunk. First, select the brush tool, set the brush shape to round, select a fill color of the trunk, draw the side and then the other by clicking and dragging the mouse. So if you do not like your shape, you may undo at any time. Now continue using the brush tool to fill in the trunk and add a few branches. Now step 3, again using the brush tool, you could add a hole at the tree, change the fill color to black and draw the hole. So students, here you can see the interface along with every steps. You have to go through it by yourself. Our step 4 is add additional enhancements until you are satisfied. You may add a vertical line to show texture on the trunk. So students, this is how you can draw a trunk in the MS Flash CS6. Now our next topic is drawing the top of the tree. Now we are going to learn how will you draw the top of your tree after drawing your tree's trunk. Now step 5, one way to draw branches is to just take a green oval and mash it up an odd shaped blob which can repeated a number of times. Each of the repeated shape may be different shades of green, may be stretched differently and may be larger or smaller. Now in step 6, draw a green oval like the one on the left. We use color #006633. Copy and paste it near the original. Change the shape of the original in any way you like. Now copy the new shape and paste 5 to 10 additional copies. Each one can be changed and positioned as you desire. So students, now here you can see the interface of these steps along with them. Now next we have, now our step 7 is, when completed, it might look like something like this. So students, here you can see the whole tree made in Flash CS6. Now students, our next topic is timeline panel. So the timeline panel is one of the most important toolbar in Flash. On a timeline, you have frames and keyframes. A frame is simply an intermediary between keyframes. There is no change in the amount of objects on the stage during a normal frame. The timeline header in the timeline panel displays the frame numbers and the playhead indicates the current frame display in the stage. Various options in the timeline panel are discussed next. So students, here you can see the interface of timeline panel. In this panel, you can see layers area, timeline header, next show or hide all layers, lock or unlock all layers, show all layers as outline, then playback control, then onion skin and then onion skin outline, then edit multiple frames, then playhead, then panel menu, then modify makers, then go to last frame, then step forward one frame, then current frame, then frame rate, then elpage time, skip forward one frame, then play, then skip back one frame, then go to first frame, then delete, then new folder, then new layer. So this is the timeline panel. Now students, let's learn about new layer. So the new layer button is used to create a new layer, then new folder. The new folder button is used to create a new folder that can be used to organize layers. Then next we have delete. The delete button is used to delete the selected layer. Then go to first frame. The go to first frame button is used to place the playhead on one frame in the timeline panel. Then step back one frame. The step back one frame button is used to move the playhead backward by one frame from current frame. Then play. The play button is used to play the animation in the stage. Then step forward one frame. The step forward one frame button is used to move the playhead forward by one frame from current frame. Now next we have go to last frame. The go to last frame button is used to place the playhead on last frame of the animation in the timeline panel. Then we have center frame. The center frame option is used to center the timeline on the current frame. Then we have loop. The loop button is used to specify a range of frames to play repeatedly during animation. Onion skin. Then we have onion skin. Flash has an option known as onion skinning. The onion skin button allows you to view a range of frames both before and after the current frame, progressively fading them out as if they are layered on translucent paper on top of each other. By dragging the edges of the grayed blocks in the timeline, start onion skin and end onion skin markers, you can expand or reduce the number of frames displayed in the onion skin mode. Refer to the figure. Now students, it's time to know an interesting fact, that is creating the animation loop. Every program that performs animation by drawing at regular intervals need an animation loop. Now students, let's learn about onion skin outlines. So the onion skin outlines button is used to display the object on the frames between start onion skin and end onion skin markers as outlines. The onion skin outline mode is used for long and detailed animations. So students, now here you can see a picture. First one is the frame in the onion skin mode and then the frame in the onion skin outline mode. So these are two pictures. First one is from the onion skin mode and the second one is from the outline mode. Now students, let's learn about edit multiple frames. So the edit multiple frames button is used to enable editing for all frames between onion skin markers. Then we have modify markers. The modify markers button is a part of the onion skin. The modify markers fly out to control the number of frames before and after the current frame that will be displayed in onion skin overlay. On choosing this button, a flyout is displayed as shown in this layout. Choose the required range of markers. The option in this flyout are discussed next. So students, here you can see some chart that says the modify markers flyout. So here you can see the modify markers flyout. Now let's learn about always show markers. So the always show markers option is used to display the onion skin markers whether or not the onion skin is on. Now next we are going to learn about is anchor markers. The anchor markers option is used to lock the onion skin markers to their current position in the timeline header. Next, then we have marker range 2. The marker range 2 option is used to apply the markers on two frames on either side of the current frame. So students, before we learn further, it's time to know an interesting fact that says a frame is simply an intermediary between keyframes. There is no change in the amount of the objects on the stage during a normal frame. Now let's continue our topic, that is marker range 5. The marker range 5 option is used to apply markers on 5 frames on either side of the current frame. Next, then we have marker range all. The marker range all option is used to apply markers to all frames. Then we have current frame. The current frame option displays the frame on which the playhead is placed. You can also scrub the current frame value to place the playhead on the required frame. Now next we have frame rate. The frame rate option is used to specify the speed at which the movie will be played by default. The frame rate is set to 24 frames as per second. You can change the frame rate from the properties panel in the timeline panel or the new document dialog box. Now students, next we have elapsed time. So elapsed time option is used to display the time that has elapsed in your animation at the frame that you have selected. Now next we have show or hide all layouts. So the show or hide all layout button is used to display or hide content of the layers. Now lock or unlock all layouts. The lock or unlock all layouts. To lock or unlock all your layers all at once, click the lock or unlock all layouts icon. Click the icon again to return to unlock layers. It is mostly used to freeze and defreeze the keys. So students, before we move further, let's know an interesting fact, that is, if a layer is frozen in the timeline panel, no changes can be made in the layer. Now then we have show all layers. The show all layers as outline button is used to display only the contents of the layers. Now next we have working with library. The library in Flash stores all the media files such as bitmaps, graphics, sound files and video clips that you import and symbols that you create in Flash document. You can organize items in the library in folders and sort them by their type. You can also open the library of the other Flash document in the current document to make the library item available from that file. Now students, it's time to know an interesting fact again. So it says in Flash CS6, every workspace has its own editing of panel. Now let's learn about library panel. By default, the library panel is located next to the properties panel in the essential workspace. To display the library panel, choose window, then library from the menu bar. The various parts of the library panel are shows. The various parts of the library panels are follows. Now, item preview window. The item preview window displays the selected item in the library panel. Then we have pin current library. Then we have new library panel. The new library panel button is used to create a new library panel that will stay across multiple Flash documents but is active only in the document in which it is created. Now next we have new symbol. The new symbol button displays the create new symbol dialog box that is used to create a new symbol. Students, here you can see the interface of the library panel. Now next we have new folder. The new folder button is used to create a new folder in the library panel. So students, before we move further, it's time to know an interesting fact. The two basic selection tools are selection and lasso tools. Now let's continue our topic. So now we have properties. The properties button displays the symbol properties dialog box of the selected symbol. Now we have delete. The delete button is used to delete the selected symbol or folder. Let's learn about importing images. You can import images of different formats such as PNG, GIF, JPG, JPEG and so on in Flash CS6. To import an image to the stage, choose File, then import to stage. From the menu bar, the import dialog box will be displayed in the dialog box. Browse and select the required image and then choose the open button. If you choose File, then import to library. From the menu bar, the image will be saved in the library panel. You can drag and drop images from the library panel to the stage. Now next we have importing sound. So how will you import sounds? Let's learn about it. User can also import sound in Flash. Follow these steps to import a sound into your library. So first, create a new Flash document and choose File, then import to library. Second, browse and choose an MP3. Third, choose window, then library to launch the library panel. The sound appears in the library with a speaker icon. Now, fourth is select sound and check out the preview window. Flash. So students, here you can see the interface of the timeline submenu. So students, Flash CS6 consists of sounds library containing different sounds that can be used for sound effects. To open the sound library, choose window, then common libraries, then sounds. From the menu bar, the sound format that Flash CS6 supports are ASND, WAV, MP3, AIFF, SUNAU and sounds only quick time movies. Then we have undo and redo in Flash CS6. You can undo and redo the acting performed by using the undo and redo commands. To undo an action performed earlier, choose edit and undo from the menu bar and press Ctrl+Z. Similarly, to redo an action, then choose edit, then redo from the menu bar or press Ctrl+Y. You can also use the history panel to undo multiple steps. To display the history panel, choose window, then other panels, then history from the menu bar. Now students, it's time to know an interesting fact, that is the ASND, that is Adobe Sound Document, is the native sound format of Adobe Sound Booth. Now students, let's start our new topic, that is saving Flash document. So to save a document, choose File, then Save. Enter a name for the file and choose a location on your hard drive to save it. You can save Flash work files in a FLA format. Now next we have save the Flash document as template. So to save a document, choose File, then Save, then choose File and then Save. Enter a name for the file and choose location on your hard drive to save it. You can save Flash work files in a FLA format or the new. So students, here these interface you might see when you are going to save the FLA files. Now next we have, in this message box, choose the Save as Template button. The Save as Template dialog box will be displayed. Now Flash lets you save the file as template that can be used later in other Flash documents. Step 4. In the Save as Template dialog box, specify a name for the file and select the category. You can select the preset categories or create your own category next. Give the description of the category, that is optional, and then choose the Save button. Then previewing your work. You can preview your work in Flash CS6 to check whether you are getting the required output. To see how the final output will be appear, to viewers. Now, to do this, you have to follow some steps. So, our step 1 is choose control, then text movie, then in Flash Professional from the menu bar. Then step 2, press control plus enter. The untitled hashtag preview window will be displayed. The untitled one file has the SWF extension and is the rendered output of the Flash document. So students, now it's time to know an interesting fact that says when you press Ctrl plus enter, Flash creates a SWF file from the FLA file. You can view the size of all the SWF files created from the current FLA file in the properties panel. Now, Flash CS6 is free. So, Adobe Flash Professional CS6 is a Flash design tool which you can download to create animations and applications. This free trial will enable you to produce content on web, smartphones and digital platforms. Now students, this is it from this chapter. So what we have learned in this chapter, let's have a quick look at some key points. So title bar, menu bar, tool palette, stage, work area, property inspector window, timeline panel, layers panel are the components of Flash window. The two basic selection tools are selection and lasso tools. Then we have the stage is a rectangular workspace area where we place our content or create drawing or movies. Then we have frames are the rectangular cells which appear on the timeline and help in creating animation in. Then Flash CS6 consists of sound library containing different sounds that can be used for sound effects. In Flash CS6, we can undo and redo the action performed by using the undo and redo commands. So students, this is it from this chapter. Soon we are going to learn about many interesting chapters of computer. Till then, revise what we have learned today. Thank you.